educator pays tribute to his late mom in a new children's book full of advice she gave him as a kid.
Alex Beane's Lessons from a Southern Mother is all about treating people with love and kindness, and what better time of year to push that message. Alex, welcome to the show.
Glad to have you here.
So your mom started with this advice to you when you were starting kindergarten. Probably a little nervous, heading off to that strange building with all those strangers for the first time. When did it occur to you that that beginning would make a great book?
I think after she passed earlier this year. Anytime you have a parent pass away, and especially when it's early on in your life, you want to share the lessons that she brought to you with the rest of the world, because that person was very special to you. Mm-hmm. So looking back and trying to commemorate her legacy, I think going back to my youth and remembering that first day in school and remembering subsequent first days after that, really provided the inspiration for this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Alex, was there ever a time, though, as some children can be, you kind of resisted some of the advice? Or did you always just say, okay, that makes sense? Or was it, oh, Mom, come on?
Oh, all the time. You know, and I was very hard to handle growing up. I guess my red hair is, virtue of that. But she was always very patient and loving, and very on point to find out exactly how I can improve myself. One of the most crucial things I think your parent can tell you is how special that you are, and she did that very often. So even though I resisted a lot of times, I knew that she loved me, and that provided inspiration for everything that I did moving forward.
And did you find that the advice that she gave you in kindergarten also works in high school, in college, and they're really life lessons that we can use even as adults?
I think so. I think what's really fascinating now, being an educator and being in schools, is seeing many of the same mistakes I made all those years ago now repeating themselves. I think a lot of parents think just because their kids have smartphones now that they're so capable of doing other things, and you find that a lot of the life lessons in relationships and academic progress and lessons about things that go on within our world every day, as we see, are still very relevant. And so what the book tries to do is to show really positive imagery from the modern South. So we have post-Katrina New Orleans with people helping out each other. We have the James Meredith Memorial at Ole Miss. Dr. King is prominently featured for all of his great work throughout the South. So bringing about these lessons and trying to enrich Southern students with a good understanding of their history and their heritage, and having pride in that, is very important.
I love the way you blend both the mother's advice and, which is universal to mothers everywhere, but also the Southern history, because sometimes Southern history is slammed in many parts of the country. But you pointed out some great examples of ways that really the South is very progressive.
Right, and I think one thing we always laugh about, especially when I'm going around talking to students, they say it's great to go tour a lot of the civil rights memorials, and it's great to look back at the Civil War, but we want a more expansive history, and we want to feel good about our heritage. And as much as we talk about some of the complications we still have even today in the South, there's a lot of great things to communicate. So that's what my mother did with me. She always had a lot of pride in the life here, and that's what we've tried to communicate in this book.
All right. Alex, great book indeed. Glad to have you here. And we can also find the book on Amazon.
Right. It's on Amazon, and it's in stores all around Memphis.
Very good.
Thank you.
All right.